what's up you guys, this is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Quick Draw, DE has slipped us one of the best looking decks in quite a while, when we take a look at the Dex Sybaris. Alrighty, honestly this is going to be a pretty quick one, mainly since everyone is getting a copy of the Dex Sybaris with the weapon slot and catalyst, as well as the two previous anniversary weapons, the Dex Sybaris and the Dex Sybaris. So you really don't need to hear my opinion, as I'm sure you can form one for yourselves. However, I must say that this is one fucking sexy weapon. From its gorgeous metallic details to the muzzle flash, this thing is going to be a dream to customize. Now, its primary damage type is slash with a good amount of impact and a bit of puncture to follow. As we know, slashing is great against fleshy targets, but it does suffer against armored units, so make sure you're using the appropriate elemental combo in order to deal the optimal amount of damage. So for those of you who haven't used the original Sybaris, it's a lever action semi-automatic rifle that shoots off 2 bullets at a time. Its accuracy is quite good, has a respectable critical chance, and most importantly, it's got a very strong fan following. Now, there are several upgrades that the Dex Sybaris received, but first and foremost, let's take a look at its new damage spread, as the original Sybaris was, for the most part, a balanced weapon with an almost equal spread between all physical damage types. The Dex Sybaris, however, shifts a majority of its damage into slashing, actually losing a bit of impact and puncture. Regardless of the changes, the Dex Sybaris enjoys a higher base damage, from 70 up to 75.1. It's also got a faster reload speed, faster fire rate, and 4 more bullets in the magazine, giving you a total of 7 shots per clip, as opposed to the 5. Now, one of the biggest improvements is the 10% increase to its critical chance, putting it at 35% and making it amazing with a crit build, as a max point strike gives it an 87.5% critical chance. And add on a trigger of Argon Scope, which you know I usually don't do, and you're a few points short of a 135% critical chance. If that doesn't say happy anniversary, honey, let's fuck. I don't know what does. Now, speaking of fucking, can we talk? Okay, so clearly DE has upped their anniversary game. First came the Dex Sybaris, which was a thing, kind of. Then we got the Dex Sybaris, which also existed, I guess. However, this time around, they really pulled out all the stops with the Dex Sybaris. And you know what? I think that DE and me are on the same goddamn wavelength, because I hear all of these stories about people letting themselves go after they've been in a long-term relationship. And the fact is, that's when you gotta bring your A game. I mean, think about it. Number one, you are having regular sex, not the hookup sex where you don't necessarily have to take your clothes off, or where you can keep the lights low and just rely on the alcohol to keep them from remembering what you actually look like naked. This is real, lights on, I'ma see you when you wake up kind of sex. Number two, they see your same stupid face almost every single day. I mean, sure, I can be interesting in the 140 characters I get on Twitter or in a 4 to 6 minute YouTube video, but let's face it, we spend all day with ourselves. We are boring. And number three, they know you shit. I don't think I really need to elaborate on that too much, but the fact is, regardless of whether they've seen it firsthand or whether the thought of you doing it has turtled its little head into their brains, they have an image of you shitting stocked somewhere in there. So the last thing that you want to do is let yourself go. They've racked up all these years of putting up with your ass. The least you can do is give them something attractive to picture while you're dumping. So DE gives us the Dex Sybaris, I pull out the real freaky sex stuff, and we lock that shit in for another year. That is how you play a long-term relationship. Take it from someone that's not currently in one. But how about we ignore that fact and get back to the quick draw. So all in all, the Dex Sybaris is fucking incredible. If you like the original Sybaris, that is. Its increased damage, critical chance, and other supplemental stats turn it into a true powerhouse, which isn't something that could necessarily be said about the previous Dex weapons. Now, one of my favorite improvements admittedly is a bit boring, but let me just tell you, the reload speed on this version just makes life that much sweeter. Now, the only real downside that you will find with this weapon is its complete lack of polarities, and as we know, full crit builds are quite expensive to slot in, especially if you plan on replacing Argon Scope with a more consistent damage mod. So I guess this anniversary, we'll be spending the night gripping our decks and just grinding away. So thank you all for watching another episode of The Quick Draw. If you haven't already caught it, be sure to check out my previous episodes on the Azuma and the Zooge. Yes, I'm calling it that, and I'm only really doing it to trigger your OCD. Now, don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, happy anniversary from the Gay Guy Plays. You know, sometimes all it really takes is a bit of that head game before you can really lay into them and make them pop.